Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Hart and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is my second semester here at UCA and I earned my bachelor's in nutrition back in 2016 at a local college here called University of North Florida. I took some notes, so I'm going to be kind of glancing over there so I don't forget anything. Um, Overall, I liked the premise of the study. I thought it was interesting, and it made me think about my own food choices, which is also, really connected me to the article a little bit more. And when I thought about how I make my own food choices, price is definitely a factor. I also thought about how my choices are not always logical, even when I intend them to be. I can think of times, I've tried to meal prep specifically with price in mind, thinking, okay, this week I'm going to stay within this budget, and in order to do that, I need to shop this way, blah, blah, blah. And then I get to the end of the week and I think, oh, well, you know, I didn't do as great as I had planned. Like, either I didn't feel like eating what I made and so I ordered out instead, or, I forgot about something, or I realized that my calculations and my intent was kind of wrong, so I ended up spending more, whatever the case is. I think we've kind of all been there where we try even, thinking about price, but it doesn't always pan out the way that we wanted it to. Um, and I also noted on here that groceries are pretty expensive at the moment. And this is another reason why I thought that the article was timely. It might be situations where people are making decisions based on price for the first time, or they're making decisions based on price more often than they have in the past. And I think that that this article just in general kind of encapsulated that price does alter like our concept of what we're eating and how we're eating. So in terms of the information available in the study, I don't know how reliable it is, or how much we can take in from this article, just because of the small sample size and because of the time frame. If this was a much bigger study, or part of a much bigger study that had gone on for longer, then I think we could really start to, value and, look more deeply into those connections that the authors are making. But they even say in the limitation section, I think it was, that this is a pilot study. It's a small study. It's intended to gain more interest and to encourage more research into the area. And I think they were heavily focused on like business owners, which I kind of get. Money is needed to fund these projects, so it did seem like they were targeting restaurant owners or like food providers, that kind of thing. Let's see. I also questioned the concept of having their study at a live restaurant. I thought they did a great job of explaining why they chose to do that, instead of the first version that had already been done in enclosed, like more like focus group space. However, I do think that there were a lot of aspects that they couldn't control for, just because there's it's a live environment. And they did mention that they hadn't controlled for people who had already been to the restaurant before. And the way that they talked about it was in terms of price. Like, if I'm a regular customer and the buffet is normally $12, well, I know that even though it's $8 today, that's just like for today, and that might not completely change, or they might not have as strong of an effect on my how I value the food, because I'm used to paying a different price for it. So they did explain that well, but I thought that there was another element to that they didn't bring up, and it was any like emotional attachment to the food. Let's say that this Italian restaurant had been open for a really long time, and you'd gone there as a kid. I imagine that your conception of the quality is going to be very different, because maybe you had a really good experience with maybe that's where you went every Sunday with your family or whatever, or maybe you had a bad experience as a kid and you had to go there every Sunday and you didn't like the food, and now you have to go back for whatever reason. So I think that there's a lot more to that, to the emotional side, that could be affecting people's judgment of quality versus just the cost of the food. And then another question I had was based on the timing of when the flyers were given. So I might be reading a little too deep into this, but it said that in the article that first the $4 flyers were handed out, and then the $8 flyers were handed out, and it went over 2 weeks. Well, is that two different lunch rushes? So maybe the first group every day gets the $4 flyers or the $8 flyers, and then the second group gets the $4 flyers. Well, that in itself could be affecting the quality of the food. Like, what if the people that are coming in when the food is out hot and fresh, and the buffet hasn't been disturbed at all by a lot of hands, maybe they're getting the $8 flyers, and then the people who are coming in later, when the food has been sitting, or things look messier, maybe they're getting the $4 flyers, and that is completely skewing the data as well. I don't know. But my point is that I think that there could be a lot more factors that haven't been accounted for in a live setting, and so I'm not persuaded necessarily from this article that a difference in price does have the effect that they're saying that it does, just based on this article. But like I said, overall, I thought the concept was really cool. Like, it made me think about my life and, potential for nutrition education in the future. So I think that is it. Anyway, thank you all for watching and listening. I'm looking forward to doing the same with your videos, and have a great semester and a great day. Thank you.